Hi everyone, Sam here. And today we are going to dive into something that most people completely miss in their business and don't prioritize at all. And it can actually be one of the simplest ways to drastically increase the resilience of your business ecosystem, your conversion rates, if you like using terms like that. And to start this off, let me share an example. So, have you ever launched something that felt just deeply right? It was just such an epic offer, but it didn't sell the way that you expected. You were doing the mindset work, you had great copy, you had been building visibility, and it still felt slow. That was me last year with the first launch of Sacred Attraction Formula, which is my course on online launching. So yes, I do recognize how ironic it is that the course on online launching was the program that I was struggling to launch. I mean, hundreds of people did join, but I really expected at least 1,000 people to sign up because for the first time ever, I set one of my full online programs at $250. So I've been in lots of online courses. I knew that going rate for a course like this one was at least $2,000, if not $3,000. I am unquestionably an expert in this arena, working as a 7-figure online launch manager for years and being on the back end of 7-figure launches, 8-figure businesses doing launches, tons and tons of launches of my own and for clients and for students. So I was really fucking clear on the value of this program and I priced it at $250. And I was really excited and felt really, really good about that. But I had skipped something very important. I had made the false assumption, which I knew better. But I made this false assumption that a low price can make up for all the other elements of copywriting, sales page, an online launch. And I fucking knew better. I've said for so many years to so many students that you have to work just as hard to sell a low price thing as you do a high price thing. Just slashing the price won't make it easier, or most of the time it will make it easier. And I wasn't following my own advice because I skipped a very important element, and that was testimonials, social proof, case studies. And it wasn't because I didn't care. It was mainly because I was busy and the idea of one more thing made my brain freeze. But if we look at the statistics, adding testimonials to a sales page can boost your conversions by up to 380% just by adding testimonials. So if you've nailed the content, your copy feels really good, your offer feels drool-worthy, your mindset is on lock, and yet sales feel like a slow crawl, this might be it. Because even with my Sacred Attraction Formula example, I had a lot of visibility and magnetism when I had launched it. I think it was in September that I launched it. I just came off a super successful launch. I just came off of 2 of my largest launch events ever. Thousands of people signed up for the free launch events. I just double sold out a mastermind. I just had 2 months in a row where I was over 6 figures cash revenue and was sharing about it, which increased the magnetism and visibility. So everything was going right in my business, in my visibility, even my writing. I felt really great in my writing. And if you identify as a writer, you know this. You know when you write something and you're like, oh, that was fucking good. And when you feel like kind of neutral about what you're writing. And I was like in this vortex of really great writing. And still, I thought over 1,000 people were going to join in like a week. And yes, a few hundred people joined and that's fucking epic. But in my mind at the time, it was a fucking flop. Because here's the truth, a sales page with zero or vague social proof is like asking someone to believe you just because you said so, when all the marketing statistics say the opposite. So here's another one. 72% of customers won't take action, aka will not buy from you, until they've read a review. So you can have the best branding, the best videos, the best copy. But 72% of customers won't take action until they've read a review. But it's not just any review. We've all received testimonials that suck. Love you guys. But it's true. You know what I'm talking about. Where you had this client who had just this fucking epic result from your program, from your coaching, from whatever. And they send in a testimonial and it just sucks. People aren't taught, unless they've been through some copywriting trainings, they don't know how to write a testimonial in a way that's actually usable. Most are too vague to make any difference in your business or on your sales page. So like, this changed my life. There's no context there. There's no numbers there. There's nothing that people can actually dig their teeth into to understand what they're talking about. Oh, she's amazing. That's so sweet, but it's pretty much useless. Oh, highly recommend. But like, why? Why do you recommend it? So really good testimonials need to include at least one of these three. One, specificity. What result did they get? What actually shifted? Just like great copywriting. Ideally, this is written almost like a movie script where we can actually feel the result, feel what's actually happening, see the experience, the before and the after. Number two, relatability. Can the people who haven't bought from you, who are looking at your sales page, can they see themselves in that person, in the person who wrote the testimonial? If I am creating a business program for newer entrepreneurs, but I'm sharing testimonials around people who are super far along and they have these massive audiences and they're getting great results and the testimonials are epic, but the people reading my sales page are in this brand new stage of business, have no following whatsoever, there's not relatability there. They'll see that testimonial and instead think, yeah, of course it works for them, but it won't work for me. So relatability is super important. And then the third one is objection busting. It's sometimes harder to get these kinds of testimonials, but ooh, they're so good. Does the testimonial answer a silent, yeah, but in their head? One great example of this kind of testimonial, an objection busting testimonial that I've had, is for my program Copywriting Alchemy. I have a testimonial from someone who considers themselves a great writer and then just talking about how this program completely changed everything and how copywriting is different than writing. And it silently addresses the objection of, but I'm already a good writer, so why would I need copywriting training? And then I have another testimonial on that page that is someone sharing how she sold out in her first year of business as a full-time coach because of this copywriting training. So that addresses the objection, busts the objection of, is this only for people who are further along? So again, we're thinking of testimonials as mirrors. They let potential buyers, people interested in your work, see themselves in your work, see themselves getting results. And really, these get to be used everywhere. It's not just on sales pages, but I love to use them on opt-in pages for freebies, Instagram stories, Instagram posts, emails, evergreen funnels, application forms, even within my programs, sharing results that other people are getting to help people who are already in the program keep doing the work. And you know how important this is if you have a bigger online program of some sort, whether it's a course or a mastermind or even a mini offer. People need help with motivation, and testimonials, even within programs, help motivate your people. They can rely on you for motivation. And I know some people are like anti-motivation and it needs to be intrinsic and blah, blah, blah. I don't agree with that. I'm like, fuck it. If people need to rely on me to actually get their shit together and like finally put out the mini offer that they said they wanted to do by me sharing testimonials and examples and case studies, like, let's fucking go. I will take on that role as the teacher. Okay, but that was an aside. So here are some signs that you need to prioritize testimonials and social proof in your business like yesterday, and not be like me with my Sacred Attraction Formula launch where I was like, yeah, I'll add testimonials later, but then never get around to it. So some red flags are you're constantly explaining your value on discovery calls. If someone doesn't show up to a discovery call, essentially already sold, that's a marketing problem. And testimonials can help with that. Your sales page has no client voice or examples. Like, okay, can we fix this today? If you're like, fuck, I have no testimonials on my core offer page. Okay, let's fix this today. You're tweaking strategy, but it feels like a push. Okay, do you have enough testimonials? Specific, relatable, objection-busting testimonials. You get, this sounds great, but I'm not sure it would work for me DMs. This is where specific, relatable, objection-busting testimonials can address this. So you don't even have to answer those questions. And you feel invisible even when you're showing up consistently. There might be other reasons behind that, but showing user-generated content, case studies, testimonials, social proof that prove that you get people results, not just you, but the people that you work with, it makes all the difference. So if any of those hit, prioritizing social proof is your next power move. Now, this is when my fellow socially anxious, neurodiverse people start to tune out, if they even started this episode, if they even are listening still. Because there really is an emotional side to asking for testimonials. Because asking can feel so fucking scary. I used to avoid asking for testimonials, not because I didn't believe in my work, but because asking would make me spiral. Now, I've shared on here that I wasn't diagnosed with ADHD until I was in my early 30s. And honestly, haven't done the deep dive into all of the things ADHD. But one thing that I'm so happy I realized was there's something called rejection sensitive dysphoria, RSD, which is a very real experience for many neurodivergent folks. And up to 99% of people with ADHD experience rejection sensitive dysphoria. So this is a very loud fear of being ignored or misunderstood, and it can be paralyzing. Even gentle no's can land like these deep personal rejections. Like it's a part of our neurodiversity. It's a part of our executive dysfunction. So I fucking know that asking for surveying your people, asking for testimonials is really, really scary. And I actually just got back from the conference Hypnothoughts, which was in Vegas. It's the second time going to this conference, and there's a lot of crossover of people who are my students or who follow me on Instagram or have heard me on someone else's podcast or read my book. There's like a good handful or a couple dozen people who also have gone to Hypnothoughts. And I was putting off booking my tickets to this conference, like the plane ticket and the hotel room, up until 7 days before I was supposed to be there. And I should also mention that I was already on the docket to speak at the conference. And I was still going back and forth of, but should I go? But should I go? With all of this spiraling thoughts around, oh, I sometimes get sick when I travel. Oh, I hate traveling. When really the underlying thing was, I don't love meeting strangers or people who I don't know that well because of this rejection sensitivity piece. And so I did go. I made my mom come with me too. I flew her out with me so that I had a safe emotional support person with me. And giving the talk was amazing, and going to different sessions was amazing, and I ended up being a demo. For my hypnosis teacher, Melissa Tears, I took her hypnosis intensive last year and had worked with her before. But she had this 2-hour demo where she was just going through back to back with demoing change work on people. And I raised my hand and brought up this social anxiety piece and was like essentially outing myself in front of this room of over 100 people. And sharing how I often don't wear my glasses or contacts when I'm in these sorts of social situations because the visual blur is this like defense mechanism to make me feel more safe. And afterwards, now we're getting like kind of in the weeds of the story, but I wanted to share. But afterwards, so many people who I knew were coming up to me and introducing themselves or saying thank you for the demo or, oh, so many like da-da-da-da. Because I outed myself, and suddenly they're like, oh, she is socially anxious, so I'm being helpful by walking up to her. 100% they were. But also someone I knew came up to me and told me, oh my gosh, that was so healing for me, because I realized that you didn't actually see me at that one social event because you weren't wearing your glasses, and I thought you had hated me. But it's just that you're socially anxious and not wearing your glasses. And we proceeded to have a lovely time together at the rest of the conference and talking with all these people. So all of this to say, one, I wanted to share this funny story, but really, I fucking get it. I fucking get not wanting to ask for feedback. I swear every time I send out a survey, because I do automate sending out surveys, it's now a part of my launch process. It's a part of my offer creation process because I know how important it is. But I will often have my virtual assistant go through the responses because of that rejection sensitivity and being so worried that people are going to hate me. They never are. They never do. They always have such fucking beautiful things and sweet things to say. But I do it anyways because it has that much of an impact on my business. So no excuses. And a recent example of this is earlier this year in January, I relaunched Copywriting Alchemy, which used to be called Regenerative Copywriting Studio, but I relaunched it with a new name. And I used the same sales page copy. I used the same launch emails as I did the year before. I used the same Instagram posts as I did the launch before. The only thing, or the main thing that I changed, was I sent out a survey to past students asking them for testimonials and asking them for feedback on the course. Sent 2 reminder emails and got over 100 testimonials. And because of that, my launch revenue was 3 times the amount as the launch before. Yes, I did have some visibility growth in between that 1 year period. Or I think it was actually a 6 to 9 month period since the last time I had launched it. But the biggest change was before I had 3 testimonials that weren't directly related to the program. And this time I had over 100 testimonials to use on the page. So I sent out 1 survey with highly intentional questions. It's a survey I've used before. So it was literally just me duplicating a survey I had already created and making some adjustments for this program. And it was built into my process from the start. The hardest part of that process was actually going in and reading the responses and screenshotting them just because of the volume of responses. So I hope you see in this how much ease this gets to create over time, where once you have a testimonial system, and I have different testimonial systems based on the type of offer, how I ask for and receive testimonials for a high ticket mastermind is different than how I do for a mini offer, which is different than how I do for a long-term group program. But I have the systems in place and I created them over time because one powerful quote is reusable everywhere. And your marketing steps out of any sort of convincing energy because social proof creates connection. And you stop having to shout this I swear I'm good. And instead you're letting others speak for you. And one more stat for you is that 92% of people, 92% of people, so almost 100% of people trust recommendations from others, even strangers, more than branded content, aka what you say about your offers. I'm going to say it again. 92% of people trust recommendations from others, even strangers, more than your copy, your branded content. So this is no fucking joke, okay? So as you can tell, I'm really passionate about this. I haven't talked openly about this before, and I'm changing that next week with a new workshop that I'm going to do live called Effortless Testimonials. This is live on July 31st, so it's Thursday, July 31st. It's currently $25. If you're listening to this in real time, the price is going to go up to $50 next week and then probably up to $100 after the actual live workshop. When you jump in, you get lifetime access to the replay. We'll be going through 8 scripts and exact examples of testimonial asks that I have set up in my business and that I send out to receive amazing testimonials from mini offers all the way up to high ticket private coaching requests. I'm going to share the automation system I personally use, exact templates, a lot of mindset reprogramming, and exactly how to use testimonials in any type of offer, how to create really potent case studies from testimonials, what actual questions to ask to get amazing testimonials, I would love to have you join us. Again, this is going to be live only once. On July 31st, you can join now, even if you can't join live at this low $25 price. So like same price as a yoga drop-in. If you are in the regenerative business ecosystem, my membership, do not buy a ticket. You get free access as a part of your membership. No matter what, I hope you, from this podcast episode, you have a serious fire lit under your ass to use the testimonials that you already have, to ask for more testimonials and survey your people and request feedback today. And for any of you who are currently launching or promoting something and it's feeling really sticky, this might be the first place to look. So I will talk to you soon. I hope to see you on July 31st. And if you loved this episode, if you found anything in here to be useful or applicable or mind-bending, then please take a screenshot of your podcast app on your phone right now and go share it on social media. It makes a huge difference on more people finding this podcast. And I would so appreciate it. And have an amazing day.